What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy Goblin, and today we're coming in with a hoot and a holler, a true banger, if you will. Today, we're talking about the time that I sold my TV for ketamine. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Drop a like if you do, and also, I just want to note real quick, if I sound a little sick, it's because I think I have COVID, dude. I've said this like 30 fucking times in the past 2 months, but no, my throat hurts, for real. So, hey, it's not a new mic. It's not me going cuckoo, all right? Just a little bit of a scratchy throat, so don't mind that. Also, speaking of ketamine, for all my K-hole lovers out there, you already know there's only two things I love, A-holes and K-holes, baby. This shirt on screen is available now at goblin.merchforall.com. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, check the link at the very top of the description, and you can get the t-shirt for $25 and the hoodie for $35. Please, if you do decide to purchase, DM me proof of purchase so I could follow you back. Hey, hit me up on Twitter or Instagram with that. Greatly appreciated. Thank you all for in advance. And hey, if you guys get the shirt, please post a picture of you in it on your Instagram story and tag me in it so I can repost it, dude. Thank you all in advance. Hey, hope you guys enjoy the shirt, dude. I love how it turned out. Without further ado, let's dive right into it. So, this happened way back in high school, as many of you probably already guessed, right? Because my K phase was basically entirely in high school. Like, I haven't really dabbled in ketamine seriously since then, you know? I've had my occasional bump with the substance, you know, my occasional like, oh, this guy's got some K, but I haven't really consistently done K since high school, right? But going back to this story, this happened way, way, way back in the summer of like, oh God, was it really this long ago? 2016, dude. That feels weird to even say. That feels strange even coming out of my mouth. But the summer of 2016, ladies and gentlemen, this goes so far back. And back in the summer of 2016, in the very beginning, I had just finished my junior year of high school, right? And this was kind of towards the end of when Ashton lived in my area, right? So at the beginning of this summer, I was trying to kick it with him a good bit, like as much as I could, right? Because he was moving pretty soon, right? So we were trying to kick it together just all the fucking time, dude, as much as we fucking could, right? Just linking all the goddamn time, right? And on this particular day, he hits me up and he's like, yo, dude, I have a little bit of K, right? And this was also coming to like, he was coming to the point where he was like not serving anymore because he was getting ready to move, right? And obviously he wasn't going to pack all that shit up and move with it, right? So he was getting ready to like temporarily stop serving. So this was like, I knew this was going to be one of my last chances to get my hands on some solid K without having to go through the mail, which we'll get to that later, right? But back on topic here. Either way, I hit him up, you know, and I'm like, hey, what are you doing? You know, I reply to him, and he's like, oh, dude, not shit today, but you're going to want to come over. I just re-upped on a little bit of K, right? I'm like, all right, sounds good. He's like, you're really going to want to be here quick. It's fire. Whenever he says that, I always know it's a hoot and holler, right? I always know we've got a big event inbound, dude. This guy does not cap. If he says it's fire, it's seriously fire. Because normally, the shit that I already considered amazing, he would never talk up. So if he talked it up, I knew I had to get the fuck over there, right? But I realized very quickly that I had a problem. I had fuck all for money, right? And at this point, I had recently been kicked out of my mom's house and moved back into my dad's house. And I'd been back for about a, period of 2 to 3 weeks. And I'd made a habit, right? I've been doing this for a long time. Whenever I'd go through my periods of living with my dad, right? I would try to pawn things. I would try to take things and go sell them that he would not notice were missing. And I made a habit out of this, and I got away with it. Usually, I would just find an older friend, you know. I would, for example, I'd ask, like, Cody's brother if he wanted the stuff. And if not, I'd find someone who was 18 to go pawn it for me, you know. We would find a lot of different options. Dude, we would find a lot of different options. Cody had a girlfriend who was 18 at this point, right? So we got her to pawn shit for us. We were only 17, so we couldn't pawn shit, right? We would find anyone to do this shit, right? But back in the day, right? Way, way, way back, right? I used to pawn everything, and I would pawn tools. There was a one time where I took like a drill and a full toolbox and I went and pawned that to buy some weed. Just fiend shit. You guys are probably like, oh, dude, why were you fiending that hard, you know? Listen. My dad's a prick. He always has been. He's never been good to me. So I never felt I would never steal from my dear mother, dude. My mother, oh God, no. I would never touch her belongings. My mother's great, dude. My dad, on the other hand, complete prick. Yelled at my mom all the time. Fuck that guy. We're staining him, right? So I go over to his house, dude. I'm hitting licks, but I ran out of licks. I eventually stole and pawned so much shit that there was nothing left for me to pawn that wouldn't be blatantly obvious. So I tried to get really crafty with it. I started theory crafting, and I went into my bedroom, and I'm like, okay, what is some shit that I can pawn in here that maybe like I could get away with? And I'm looking around, and my eyes sat on my TV. Now, listen, you guys might be like, why the fuck would you pawn your TV? Well, listen, at this point, I was a PC gamer. You know, I have been for a long time. I'd made the hop from consoles to PC long ago. When the Xbox One generation came out, I, like, fully converted from console to PC, right? Just because this gen of consoles didn't do it like the last gen did for me. I don't know what it is, dude. 360 had that magic that the current gen just didn't replicate. But back on topic. So, either way, I'm looking at my TV and I'm like, well, you know, I could always just hook my Xbox up to my monitor. Like, you know, if I ever wanted to play that old Dust Collector, you know, like I really don't need this TV. So I'm sitting there thinking to myself, okay, well, how often does my dad come in my room? And I'm actually starting to theory craft here because, listen, I was desperate to get fucked up. I had no weed. I had no alcohol. I had no nicotine. I was fiending off my rocker. I had just gotten done with a school year full of drugs and crackhead shit. I needed this money to go do some K, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm just like, holy fuck, dude. I'm hitting people up just to make sure there's no other way to make money. I'm offering like rides to people and shit. Nobody needs a fucking ride. So I'm just like, oh, fuck, dude. So I realized very quickly, like, yeah, this TV's getting pawned, dude. This thing's fucking gone, right? So I'm trying to think. I'm like, fuck, dude. What do I do with this TV? Who am I going to, like, where am I going to take it? Who's going to pawn it for me? How am I going to get away with this? I'm going to have to replace the TV. And I'm trying to think of what to do. And at first, I'm thinking, like, okay, I'm going to replace the TV, right? I'm going to replace the TV. But then I thought, well, what if I tell my dad some crazy story, like it's short-circuited in the outlet, right? I was starting to think of the most crackhead shit I could. So I was like, all right, plan in action. Let's get it, right? So I unplug my TV, I carry it downstairs, and I throw it in my car. And I had to lay down the back seats in my car, right? I had to lay down the seats in my car, put it in the trunk, kind of lay it through the back seat. And I hop in my car, right? And at this point, I was driving the Mazda. For the brief little stint that I had the Mazda, you guys might remember this thing. This is when I had that car. I actually barely any of you guys probably remember the Mazda. I was only in this car for a month and a half before I crashed it. It was a bad time. But either way. So I put the seats down. I throw this TV. It was a sizable TV, you know. Mind you, this was like 5 years ago, so it was not a 4K TV, right? It was still like I think it was like a 1080p, but it was a nice TV, bro. It was like an LG or some shit. Like it was nothing to scoff at, right? So I throw this TV in my trunk and I get in my car and I start driving. And I'm thinking as hard as I can. I'm like, who the fuck can I hit up to pawn this? So I hit up Cody, and Cody's busy. I hit up Ashton. I'm like, yo, dude, do you, like, know anyone who's of age that could, like, help me out here? He's like, I don't fucking know, right? I don't fucking know, right? Because, listen, sometimes I didn't like telling Ashton that I was going to sell shit to buy drugs from him. Because knowing him, he'd always, like, he would probably have hooked it up for free, right? But then I would have felt guilty about it. So I had to paunch. I just couldn't tell him, right? So I would usually dance around the topic. But this time I was so desperate. I was just like, dude, you got anyone who could take me to a pawn shop? And he's like, no, dude, I don't think so. Why? And I'm like, no, I don't know, dude. I just want to go look at shit, you know? Just some random fucking shit, right? So, either way, I'm trying to find some people, and finally, I hit up Michael. He's a longtime friend of mine. You guys have probably heard his name plenty of times in my videos. I'd skipped school with him a lot of times and done psychs with him. I hit Michael up, and Michael was always kicking it with some goons, and he had one goon who he kicked it with who was way older, who we're going to call Dean. So I hit up Michael, and I'm like, yo, dude, do you have anyone who could take me to a pawn shop? He's like, yeah, I'm with Dean right now, dude. Come pick us up. So I go right over to Michael's house, and I pick up him and Dean, and he comes out with this little fucking Bluetooth speaker he just got, banging some old school rap. I don't know what he's banging, but he's just slapping this shit on the speaker. He hops in, he's like, dude, I got this sick fucking speaker. Let's ride, right? So we're driving, and I'm just like, all right, you guys know, like, which pawn shop, like, which one's closest to your house, right? Like, do you know? Because his house was a little out of the way from where I was trying to go, right? His house was not really anywhere near Ashton's house. He's like, oh, yeah, I know. Just follow my lead. So he leads me to this pawn shop. We pull up, we park up, and I carry the TV in with Dean, right? Michael comes in with me, and we're all standing there, and Michael's just kind of looking around. He left a speaker in the car. And it's pretty straightforward. You know, we pawn this TV. Dean just says it's his. We don't get very much money for it, though. You guys know pawn shops. They like to fuck you in the mouth. And this pawn shop fucked me hard. I got $80 for this TV. And honestly, I consider that pretty good. Like, I consider myself pretty fortunate to have gotten $80, dude. That's like, honestly, I'm not that mad, right? Like, looking back at it, I'm a little pissed. But at the time, I was over the moon. I was like, 80, dude. I could buy an 8th, I could buy a K, I could get some fucking I could get some cheap liquor. Oh, let's go, boys, right? I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is it, ladies and gentlemen, you know? Because listen, nobody budgets like a desperate stoner in high school, bro. You'll make that $80 feel like $8,000, dude, I swear to God. So I get this fucking TV money. We get back in my Mazda. Now it's just a standard day, right? I go drop Michael and Dean off, and I throw Dean a $5 for the help. I'm like, yeah, dude, get yourself, a little lunch or something. Thank you for the help. I appreciate you guys, right? Chill out with Michael. Michael's like, yo, tap this blunt before we leave, right? So I smoke a blunt with them. I dap them up. I'm like, thank you for the help, boys. I appreciate the smoke up, Michael. You're the man. And I did. So now I go over to Ashton's, right? And I go over with my $75 I had left. And I link up, I pick him up. And from here on, it's just a normal night, right? He's got some K. And this was a pretty standard night. I don't think we did anything like super special. I remember I went and picked him up, and we went and got some food. We went to Five Guys. And we're chilling at Five Guys. And we're chilling in the parking lot of this place, right? And we're bumping some K. And this guy, I don't know if he does one too many bumps or what, but we're bumping some K, and we get out and go inside to the Five Guys, right? And we place our orders, and we get our cups. And I go sit down, and I start annihilating these free peanuts, bro. I start fucking these free peanuts up. And Ashton stands up, and this was so funny, bro. He goes over to the drink machine. Five Guys has the most bougie fucking drink machines, by the way. Maybe it was just the one by me. I don't know. But he goes over to the soda machine. And I guess there was like something wet on the ground, but this motherfucker flips. I'm talking like he starts putting ice in his cup and just straight up flips. Eat shit. Does like a backflip, dude. Not a back, like he lands on his back, but oh my, it was like a cartoon, bro. It's loud as fuck. His legs slam into the machine. All you hear is a loud ass bang. He slams into the ground. He's just got ice on his legs, dude. It's fucking hilarious. And I remember watching this and I'm dying while I'm eating my peanuts, dude. This motherfucker gets up, dude, just goes up to the front, grabs another cup, doesn't give a fuck, dude. We're K'd up. This guy, he probably didn't even feel a thing during this, dude. He was just like, oh, whoopsie, dude. Got right back up like a robot, dude. Got back up, walked over, grabbed another cup, went back and did it again, dude. So we're doing that, right? We have our Five Guys. We smack on our little ketamine-induced hunger meal, right? Which ketamine doesn't really make you hungry, but ketamine makes everything good. So that Five Guys tasted phenomenal. We smacked. And we chilled at this Five Guys for a long time. We sat there for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, right? And we're hanging out, having a good old time, right? And Ashton is just kind of waiting on a serve to hit him up. And this was like one of those rare down times. So we're chilling, chatting, having a ball, and finally we hop back in my car, pardon, right? And we dip the fuck out, right? We get out of there because finally Ashton has a serve. So I go drive him to his serve, and it's near Crackhead. If you guys remember the Crackhead Joe video, it's very close to Crackhead Joe's apartment. It was like across the street and then like 2 intersections down. It was pretty close to Crackhead Joe's apartment, right? We go bust this serve, and then we go back and chill at Ashton's house, right? And from there, it was just one of those kind of nights where we did some K in his bedroom. His mom came in and made us fucking smoothies like she did every time because she was, I don't know, she made the craziest smoothies, dude. She had to have like Jamba Juice experience or something. She made the wildest smoothies ever. They were so fucking good. But either way, so we're playing some Counter-Strike, and I went home pretty late in the night, right? My dad never said shit about the TV, so I'm figuring like, oh, okay, perfect, dude. I got away with it. I had a nice night, did some K with my boy, right? Nothing too eventful. It's not like we went to a party or even a function. We literally just went to Five Guys, sat for like 2 hours doing fuck all, right? And then we went back to my car and served someone and played Counter-Strike, right? Chill evening, but it got more eventful the next day. I'm sleeping, and I'd wake up to my dad coming in my room, which was not a very normal thing. Like, my dad rarely came in my room. Very, very rarely. But my dad comes into my room, and I don't remember what the fuck he wanted to talk to me. I don't remember what the fuck he came in for. I have no idea. But all I remember is he comes to the room, and I wake up, And I just immediately, I sit up and I kind of catch on to like the oh fuck moment where like he's, all right, so how my room is laid out, right? There's me in this corner here, right? And I'm in the bed, and then directly to my left, across from me is the door. My dad's peeking in, and my dad's facing me, so he's looking straight ahead at me, right? But to the left of my dad, and kind of like diagonally from me in the other corner of the room, there's where the TV should be. Like, there's a TV stand that now has no TV on it, right? So I'm looking, I'm just like, oh my God, if my dad looks in that direction, I'm fucked. I'm boned, right? So he's talking to me, and I'm just trying to maintain the conversation, but at the same time, I think what gave it away was just like the deer in the headlights look when I looked in the corner of the room and realized my TV wasn't there and my dad was, right? Because as soon as I look over, my dad looks over. And then all hell breaks loose. He looks over and he takes his hand off the doorknob and he does that fucking thing where he puts his hands on his hip and he goes, "Where the fuck is your TV?" And after that, it was just a shit show, right? I don't think I've talked about my dad too much because him and I just fought all the time, but this motherfucker would go crazy. We get in like shouting matches where I'd have to like leave the house, and that's what happened on this day, right? At first, I try to play it off and I give my excuse. I'm like, oh, dude, I was moving the TV stand, plugged my Xbox in, and it fell over, so I threw it away. And he's like, well, where the fuck is it then? I'm like, oh, well, I think the fucking, the guy took it. You know, you guys know, whenever you put a valuable item on the curb, there's a chance that guy in the pickup truck that's like 10 feet high piled with shit is going to come take it, right? That's what I tried to play off. I was like, dude, the fucking big, tall pickup man came and took it, dude. Dad was not having it, bro. He called me the fuck out. So we get into this shouting match, and I'm like, fuck this, dude. So I run down to my car. I get the fuck out of there really quickly, dude. And my dad is pissed. He's like, don't fucking come home tonight, rah, rah, rah. But that always translated to wait until he's passed out and then come home, right? So I wait until he passed out, and then I fucking came home that night. But I spent that entire day just out and about, away from that fucking house. And once I came back home, he'd kind of calmed down about the TV thing a little bit. It was always this kind of thing. Like, I'd just leave the house, he'd calm down, then it was never a topic, right? So eventually, I replaced that TV with like the worst piece of shit $50 720p fucking Walmart TV ever, right? Just because I needed something to play my Xbox on. But hey, either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you did. Thank you all for tuning in. Once again, cop that new A-Holes and K-Holes shirt at the link in the description, baby. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.